I'm back! Hey, I'm back! And relatively speaking, compared to the time gaps that are usually in between my videos, it's not been very long since I posted one. And I know the last video was really kind of a downer, and I'm sorry about that, but at the same time, you know, I'm not, because the point of these videos is to show you guys the truth of what I'm going through. And so today I'm really excited to come back and give you more truth, but make a much happier video, because things are going really great right now. I actually have someone special here with me to help me celebrate what's going on.
Hi!
You want to tell me your name?
I'm Katie. I am her cousin.
She is. She's basically like my little sister. I mean, we're wearing matching Umbrella Academy shirts. And so she's here today with me to share the good news, and first of all, so I managed to finish 3 out of 4 of my classes that I took in the spring 2019 semester on time. There was a lot of cramming, there was a lot of stress, there were late nights and crying, and a lot of candy eaten, too much caffeine consumed. But I got it done.
Yay!
And part of that was my reading, which ended up being a workshop reading rather than a staged reading. But that's okay, because I'm doing a staged reading this summer, actually in about a month. And it was still just an amazing experience, and I ended up with like I think I said like a 3.8 was my GPA for the semester, so not bad. I'm sorry. So I'm recording on Nana's phone right now because I do not have any room on my phone, so that's the problem that's going on. I also have other really good news. I just finished one of my incompletes from fall 2018. I finished the creative writing class, turned in the paper. No. There we go. And so I'm all done with that class, and I'm ready to start taking 402. And I'm making this in Nana's house, and there are always people here. And so Heather just came in the door.
Hello.
So you can hear her say hi from behind the camera. And so other good news, I went to the cardiologist, my cardiologist last week. It was last week. And he said, right now everything looks really good. I look good. I sound good.
You're alive.
I'm alive. I am very much alive. My labs all came back really good. My medication level is kind of finally in the perfect range after struggling with it for a couple months. And my kidney function is the best it has been in literally about 3 years. That's no exaggeration. It's quantified on a scale of kind of 0.5 to 3-ish. And so I usually run about like a 1.3, something like that. And right now I am at a 0.9, which is amazing.
Health.
Thank you. Especially considering everything I'm going through. And he said that, as of right now, I do not have to see him again until mid-August, like the week before school starts. So 3.5 months, which is insane because, going on, almost 7 months ago, when I was at Riley and they first found the blockages, they didn't know what was going to happen. They thought kind of the option was going to be another transplant, and through their program, I think I've talked about, I wasn't going to be a candidate. There wasn't really going to be anything they could do. They were going to give me some meds to make me comfortable. That was it. But since I've gone to my current program with my current cardiologist, I'm feeling so good. And right now I'm feeling really great too, which is a super plus. I've had a lot more energy. I've had a lot more endurance. Tolerance. I've been able to carry heavy things. Carrying my own bags when I come home from school and carrying the groceries inside without a problem. Still some heavy breathing, but it's going to happen. I even, last week, I had a run-in with a raccoon at the dumpster, and I ran all the way across the parking lot back to my apartment, and that's just such an amazing feat for me to have done. And
you ran.
I did.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, it was a really good thing. It was really amazing. And so the last couple of days, so kind of last weekend, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, like I had some really, really rough days, right? I was extremely swollen. I had gained about 12 pounds of fluid. I had lost enough weight. This shirt I'm wearing right now is actually a large, and I'm wearing some jeans that are size 15 in juniors. I have not seen these sizes.
I think you'll have my other shirt, because this is an extra large, and that's a large, and I wear a large.
No, this is mine.
Well,
this is mine because so my mom actually picked this shirt up in a large on accident. She meant to get an extra large because that was the size shirt I wore, and I was like, oh, well, I'll go ahead and try it on, and it fit.
yay!
And I was like, I was shook, right? Because I have not shooketh. Because I have not seen a size large in so long, and that's so amazing for me. But anyway, I had a really rough few days. I was extremely swollen. I gained about 12 pounds of water. I couldn't breathe when I was sleeping. I couldn't lay on my back. Rolling over was like running a marathon for me. It was awful. I had stomach pain, stomach cramps, chest pain. I was really convinced that I had just all of a sudden taken a turn for the worse, and that was it. And one night my heart rate got up to like 100. It was running about 100 beats per minute at 1 o'clock in the morning when I was trying to go to sleep. And I was really worried. But my doctor made some changes. He added some more diuretic, made a couple other medication changes, and today I am back down to wearing my smaller sizes in clothes and feeling really good, not having trouble breathing. And I recovered really, really well.
You're okay for Mother's Day, and that's good. And
yeah,
you're alive.
I am alive. I'm feeling really good, like the best I have felt in several months. And so since I have pretty much finished the semester, I have one incomplete, but that's better than 4. And so since I finished the semester and I finished the classes, I want to get to kind of go through something. 5 things I learned. I said this semester on my phone. I've got my notes here. 5 things I learned this year that I was not graded on. So sometimes it's good to be underestimated. So I had some challenges at school and otherwise back when I was in my pediatric program, and I am a very unassuming person. Right, I look very young. I look like I'm 12. She and I look like we're the same age. She actually is 12. And sometimes we look like we're the same age, or at least 14. And so I look young. I'm, a cute, kind of chubby girl that's like, oh yeah, hi. Like this little kawaii cupcake or something, right? But I have like a lion hiding inside my cupcake.
You mean Aunt Karen?
We don't talk about Aunt Karen. That's for another video. I am really fierce underneath. I look like one of those, cute, chubby old cats that just kind of lays in the sun all day. But actually, like when you get me going,
once you get that cat out of that box, the cat's ready to pounce.
Exactly. And so I'm always upset because I'm like, nobody ever sees me as being powerful and being independent and really being something. And part of the reason for that also is because I'm sick, right? People are like, oh, well, she's too sick to really fight this. She's too sick to try to do...
Or people think that you're not sick at all, you're just not.
Well, that too, but like in the sense of being, unassuming, people are like, oh, she's not going to do it. I'm going to do it. And a lot of people learned that this last year in many ways. And, I think that's a good thing. And so I realized that bringing that power when, you walk into a meeting or something and people are like, oh, yeah, we're just going to walk right over you. And then you are very unassuming and underestimated and you bring that power, it can really be a good thing. I also learned this semester, so it's not about who will answer you every and any time you call, but it's about who will always call you back. So especially in the past few weeks, I have had a lot of really serious struggles kind of in between these 2 videos, and I had a couple of friends that I called very randomly, and I was like, it just out of the blue, and I just left them messages. They didn't answer, and I was like, I really need you to call me back. I really need help. Can you help me? Can you talk to me? Can we work through this and something? And my friends, they called me back, later that evening. They're like, hey, I'm really sorry. I was in the middle of something. I'm sorry I didn't answer you, but what can I do for you now? Can I help you out? And that meant so much to me, right? Because it's not, people talk about, oh, who's going to answer that phone when you called them at 2 a.m.? It's not necessarily about that. It's about who's going to see that missed call and send you that message and say, hey, I saw you called. What's up? Are you okay? What's wrong? Did you mean to call me? Or that friend that's just not even going to, think about it and they're just going to call you back immediately. Because I had both of those things happen. And that really, really meant so much to me this semester. Oh, thank you. My arms are so tired. And so kind of going along with that, the next item that I
have really
talked about, you have selfie stick arms.
Selfie.
So another lesson that I learned that I wasn't graded on is that being there for someone doesn't mean that you have to be there, physically. But at the same time, nothing can replace a hug. And so I learned this in the sense of, I have, my best friends do not live around me, right? They do not live close to me at all.
You're shaking me in the phone.
Sorry about that.
I don't know how to...
And so, they do not live close to me whatsoever. But, since I started going through this, since I had, I talked about having my grandma's seizure back in August of 2018, they have been right there for me, solid, especially since I got my diagnosis back in October. Just any and every time I needed something, they were right there. And it's great to hear them on the other end of the phone. And this goes for my family, too, right? For my mom, for my grandma, which is Nana.
And I
for
try
this
to call
squirt,
you when I can.
And she does. She calls me when she can. For her brother, their mom, my mom, everybody. My dad. Oh my gosh, I don't even know who all I'm missing. It goes for all of them, right? It's great to hear them. It's great to have FaceTime and all of those things, but nothing can replace, actually having them come up to you and hug you and hold you, and that is just sort of a really bad camera angle. No. That is just the best thing ever.
I don't know how your arm is so steady.
I don't either, honestly. So
Here's
one more thing.
Hug.
Yeah, it's that. You can't replace that, right? You can't replace that arm.
Yeah, you can give them a virtual hug, you just can't actually feel them. It's the sense of actually feeling somebody that makes you feel safe and okay.
Exactly.
They're there.
Yeah.
Even through the phone, you know that they're not there.
Yeah, you just can't replace, having actual hugs. So the next one is a little bit more involved. So grief is from more than living beings. And so what that kind of boils down to is, obviously there's conventional grief when someone or something you love dies, a family member, a friend, a pet. And then there's unconventional grief, which I experienced a few years back when I had a couple of...
I don't know why I laughed. I just did.
of really good friends leave and move very far away. And I learned very quickly that unconventional grief, first of all, is very, very real. And it's very powerful. And it's just as powerful as conventional grief. But there's also a grief you can grieve the loss of a lifestyle, right? Or a time in your life, or just a way that things used to be that they'll never be again. And I learned that very quickly. Another word for this is saudade, which is a melancholy longing for someone or something that has passed and is no longer there and you are no longer with. So a person or a city or even a time in your life. And it's referred to as the love that remains, right? And so the feelings that you still have toward a person, a place, a thing, a time after it's passed. And it's also just nostalgia. It's a mega nostalgia is a way to put it. And so I have never been more nostalgic in my entire life than I have the past 7-8 months, honestly.
I was gonna say about a year, but...
Well, about a year, but mostly the past 6-7 months. I've spent so much time being nostalgic because I realized, that this diagnosis and what I'm going through means that my life will never be the way it was before. For one reason or another, it will never be that way again. You know, certain aspects may still be the same. You know, the same people are still going to be around. The same places are still going to be there, such as like you know, my grandma's house or my house or whatever, my apartment at school, things like that, school. But the times in my life and even some of the people, you know, it's not going to be the same. And it's okay to miss that. And I think it's, you know, perfectly acceptable to do that. And then...
Motion detected at your front door.
So I really, really hope that did not just record the phone. I'm posting the video anyway. If you go outside, it will do it again. But it's fine. It didn't record, I don't think. Nan's phone has a camera set up and it notifies her when someone goes out her front door. And someone's always coming in and out her front door. So the last thing on the list that I wanted to... Yeah, that's kind of annoying. The last one I want to address is that getting older is good. Everybody complains about getting old, right? Oh my god, I'm so old. I'm 30. I can't believe I turned 30. I'm so old. I'm so old.
Or sometimes they just make themselves feel better. I'm 30 years young.
Right. But, like, sometimes people don't...
They don't realize what they have until it's gone. And
yeah. People don't think about it, right? People are like, oh my god, I'm almost middle-aged. I'm almost 50. I'm almost whatever. And, you know, and people think of it as a bad thing, right? But aging... For me, like, I learned very quickly when and I don't know if I ever talked about this in the video, but in any of my videos, but I was told last year in December that I had definitely no more than 5 years to live with this heart, probably realistically about 2. So last year in December, you know, I was told I had about 2, maybe 3 years to live, and, you know, that number right now is looking better. It's looking a lot better, but, you know, knowing that there may be a possibility that I may never see 25 is scary. It's so scary, and it really makes you stop and think about everything in your life differently, and knowing that, you know, I'm going to celebrate so many things, you know, when I make it, because I'm staying positive, and I'm saying that this is all going to work out, right? Because when I turn 30, like, first of all, when I turn 25, we're going to have an amazing, like, huge party. And when I turn 30, it's going to be amazing. And when I'm, you know, 40 and whatever, getting old...
When you get to 50, we are going to have a huge party because you've lasted 50 years on a heart that weren't even yours. And that's amazing.
Well, thank you.
It's exciting.
I mean, I think...
not every day you'll get somebody in your life that has a different heart in your body.
That's true. That's very true. And it's, yeah, it's going to be a really huge celebration. So real quick, like, since you said that, I want to take a minute and ask you, what's that like for you to think about me having somebody else's heart? Is it weird? Because I don't really think about it. Is it weird? Do you think about it a lot?
I'm just like, whoa, this must be really weird for her to think, oh, there's somebody else's heart in the body, whoa.
I don't think about it that much, honestly. I really don't. When I sit down and think about it, yeah, it's kind of freaky, but...
It's just like there's something there that's
like,
not yours.
It's mine, you know, but it's like...
It's like it's yours, but it's not yours.
Right. It's like when you get really, really attached to a library book, and you're like, it's mine now. But you know that eventually you're going to have to give it back some way or another. I'm eventually going to have to give this heart back. And I know that. But right now I've got it, and right now, yeah, it's a little weird. But right now I'm doing really, really well, and I'm feeling good, and I'm really excited for the summer, and there are a lot of really great things happening, and I think this is probably the most fun, exciting, good news, best news video that I have made. I know that, I don't think my list kind of got really sad. I think it just got a little deep, which, as we all know by now, I'm gonna do. But...
Life's deep, man.
It is. I'm a philosophy major, so... And also, good news, I'm going to be graduating next year.
Woo!
I'm so excited. OMG. I could have graduated in the fall, but I've decided to take that extra semester and take some classes I want, build up my GPA, you know, get a creative writing certificate or whatever, and just kind of chill. Because I deserve that. I don't know what's going to happen after I graduate. But I know that...
You're not going to move very far. And if you do, I'm moving with you.
Fair enough.
Okay.
I know I'm not going to be moving very far.
The farthest you're going is to Colorado.
All right. Texas?
Sure.
Okay. Fair enough. So, yeah, I don't know what's going to be happening after that, but starting to look at, like, grad school apps and GREs this summer and all that fun stuff and, like, what I need for these apps and these colleges. And it's intense, man, but I'm so happy that I'm going to get to do it.
Life
and
is intense, man.
It is intense. And so, I'm working really hard. There's the doctor told me there's a possibility that I could make myself a little bit better than I am now. And so right now I am working extremely hard on trying to make myself better and doing everything I can to make sure that, maybe we can put this transplant off a little bit longer, leave me at, the level 4 where I am, and or just maybe just have me feel good while I can, because it's
nice about all feeling good, but sometimes you don't get those good feels, so you just gotta make sure you get the feels right back again. You know what I'm saying?
very wise words. So that's my really, really exciting news, and I know this is kind of a long video, but I hope you guys really liked it, and I will be back soon, I'm sure, to talk about more things. Thanks.
Bye.
Okay. Oh, I don't know how to shut it off. Oh, it won't stop.
What? Cannot